Quarterback Justin Fields making his first NFL start tomorrow against the Browns. The Bears announcing the decision on the Graham. Fields taking over for Andy Dalton, who's out with that knee injury. So the Bears offense, they're looking for a spark. 2 weeks into the season, they rank 30th in yards. Fields has been sprinkled in, made big plays, also made some big mistakes, but the number 11 overall pick says he's ready for the challenge.
I've been preparing for this moment a long time, so my mindset hasn't changed. I'm still gonna, play like football and just prepare the best I can, like I said before, and just, get a lot of practice reps in and just study, and just get more comfortable and more confident with the plays and stuff like that.
Oh boy, Fields, one of the 5 first-round rookie quarterbacks, and Davis Mills, drafted in the 3rd round, made his first start on TNF this week. It's been a slow burn to begin the season, but it's only week 3. Come on, we only have 2 weeks in the books. I'm excited to see what Justin Fields does this week for sure. I know Bears fans are, but let's go around the horn here and get check in on some of these young guns, because Mike Robb, I know that you're pretty high on Fields.
Yes, I'm high on Justin Fields. Been high on him since the draft. I thought if Trevor Lawrence was 1A, this kid was 1B. Love his arm talent. Love the fact that he was the best player in the Big Ten. And I was the best player in the Big Ten at one point, but I'm not going to go into my history. I'm going to stay on Justin Fields. And to me, it's really on if Matt Nagy can kind of take back the offense just a little bit. Don't be so complicated. Don't have a lot of different reads, and use this kid's legs, man. Like, this offensive line isn't that good. You help David Montgomery out when your quarterback can run the football, and then you look at what Justin Fields has just done in the league so far. He likes to push the ball downfield. That's how it works, guys. When you're running the football and the quarterback can move and run the football, they oftentimes like to be explosive in the passing game, and I think Matt Nagy can do that. He just has to, again, pull back the offense a little bit. This is not Andy Dalton. This isn't a 10-year vet that's seen everything. Quite honestly, guys, I would probably only have 3 or 4 runs. A lot of it is read option, where you're using Justin Fields' legs. Give him a triple option every so often where he can throw the football also, and just lean on this guy and have about 3 or 4 passing concepts and just, give some window dressing. You don't want to make this game plan too difficult, because I think if Justin Fields does well while he's starting, I don't think Andy Dalton steps back in at quarterback.
Okay. Yeah, you heard Matt Nagy already say Andy Dalton's the guy, which I think he's tripping, but okay. Big statement. The rookie I'm going with, and Rob, you started that out by saying you had always loved Justin Fields. I'm talking about Mac Jones here. And he was a kid that I did not really like that well coming out of college. I felt like everything was perfect around Mac. It's taken him so long to really get on the football field. Does he really have that raw talent? Can he anticipate throws? Mac Jones, you have proved me wrong, man, because I am a believer. When I watch this kid execute from inside the pocket and work outside the pocket and use this scheme, Josh McDaniels is going to coach him up very, very well. I mean, watching him play live in the preseason, he just showed me everything, that savviness. He made tight window throws. He anticipated throws. The deep ball was on the money. Mac Jones is really a kid that's gonna excel well. And this New Orleans defense, we don't really know who they are. In week 1, they totally shut out the Green Bay Packers. In week 2, Carolina kind of is able to throw the ball around on them a little bit. And so I'm looking for this Patriots offense to do what they do well, man. And that's Coach Belichick and Coach McDaniels finding those matchups that they can win and letting Mac Jones capitalize on it.
I love D-Hall goes to the tape and he says, yeah, there's the answers for me. I can see it on the tape. For me, it was as simple as he winked at a defender in week 1. I'm in. I love it. Right out of the gate, he's winking. That's my guy. For me, Trey Lance, I had that Eagles-49ers game in Philly. The expectation going in was that he would get roughly the same kind of work that he got in the opener in Detroit, which was 4 snaps, one of which was his first NFL touchdown pass. Not bad production right there. Didn't play. Didn't see a snap against Philly. And I think it's going to kind of wind up being that little bit of, he's available. We may use him. It depends on the situation. And even if we don't use him, we're good with the fact that the other team spent an entire week preparing for 2 quarterbacks. Like, the Eagles had to spend time on Trey Lance. Even if we didn't use it, it affected their preparation. So it's effective even if we don't use them. So that's kind of the way it's going to be. It depends on how the game goes. You're going to see Trey Lance a little bit here and there. But Jimmy Garoppolo, now 2-0, furthering the proof that the 49ers win games when Jimmy Garoppolo is healthy and in the lineup.
I love it. I'm so excited for that one. I definitely think a little infusion of Lance will help spice things up in that offense for sure. But we'll see what happens. The Niners trying to stay perfect against the Packers. That's a huge game. We'll be talking about that a little bit more throughout the show. We're also going to be talking about some more quarterbacks here. Lamar Jackson chasing not just wins, but he's chasing history, guys. Sir Stats has some wild numbers to go over. And
we're not going to get into that, but we'll get back to Craig in a second. Let's welcome in our friend for his weekly segment. It is Sir Stats a lot. Look how happy he is right there. Sir Stats, for those of you who don't know, he's a prodigy. He crunches numbers his entire life. He's changed the world of football research forever. He wrote this script. He's here to share his most special stats with us, starting with the Cowboys.
Here we go. How about them Cowboys and my man Zeke? They faced the Eagles on Monday night, and Zeke has shined on prime time during his career, averaging 87 rushing yards per game. That's most since the merger. Look at those names on that list, man. Tiki. Man, who's going to stop the Cowboys? What's going on? What are we going to do?
It's a great question. I'm going to ask Colleen basically that question. Will Zeke go over or under 87 rush yards on Monday?
all right, well, as we saw, Zeke, he owns primetime, but he also owns the Eagles. He's averaged 99 rushing yards in his 8 career games against Philly. But give me the under here. Because of a guy named Tony Pollard, he's eating right now. He's averaging more than double Zeke's yards per carries. He's also facing lighter boxes, so that has a huge part to do with it. But I'm taking the under because of the Tony Pollard effect.
Check out this week's NFL Total Access, the Locker Room podcast, where Mike Robb says Tony Pollard should be getting more work than Ezekiel Elliott. Available wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. Good stuff, Colleen. Sir Stats, you're up again.
Man, so last week I had to take a trip down to Baltimore and see my guy Lamar Jackson. And the Ravens quarterback is 3rd in the league in rushing, including 107 on the ground last week. And he's right behind Michael Vick for one more 100-yard rushing games in quarterback in NFL history. Lamar Jackson about to take the lead, baby. Woo!
Your guy in Baltimore is Anthony Levine. He's going to be very upset when you refer to Lamar Jackson as your guy in Baltimore. Mike Robb, will Lamar have over 100 yards on the ground against the Lions?
Absolutely. Lamar Jackson is the real-life Superman. I know that was Cam Newton and the thing that he did, but you can't be one of the top rushing teams in the National Football League, lose all 3 of your top running backs, J.K. Dobbins, Gus Edwards, and Justice Hill, and then you go out there, you're the lead back, you're the lead quarterback, and you literally, by yourself almost, beat the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, Lamar Jackson again. I can't repeat it enough. He's the real life Superman. The quarterback counter with Lamar Jackson may be the most dangerous play in all of football. Hopefully, I get a chance to break it down next week.
Lamar listed as questionable with that illness, which was the illness that everybody thought he had when he ran to the locker room last year during that Browns game. He is expected to play full participation on Friday. Sir Stats, your final research nugget for us.
That IB, huh?
Hey, final one right here. Final one. The Seahawks and the Vikings features 2 of the best receiver tandems in the league. That's right. Since 2020, Tyler Lockett and DK Metcalf are #1 in receiving yards, while Adam and Thielen are #1 in touchdowns. This game is going to be nice and nasty with the 2 receivers holding it down.
Nice and nasty. 2 words I would use about D'Angelo Hall as well. D. Hall, which wideout duo has more receiving yards tomorrow?
Well, Jeezy, since you mentioned it like that, I'm going with the nastiest out them 2 crews, man. And it has to be DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. And look, it's no offense to Justin Jefferson and Adam Thielen, because them boys get down too. But when you talk about these 2 guys and the quarterback throwing the football to those 2 guys, they hit home run balls. You saw they had Jay Jetts and Adam Thielen by, a couple hundred yards. It's because those two guys take the top off of defenses constantly. And it doesn't help that they got the best deep ball thrower in the league, as my man Emrod pointed out to us years ago, and my man Russell Wilson. Dangerous. Is that nasty enough for you, G's?
That's nasty.
Okay.
That's nasty.
The dulcet tones of D'Angelo Hall, ladies and gentlemen, right there. Good stuff. I mentioned Craig. Nothing spikes the ratings more than Jermaine mentions. Show the tweet there. This was to Real Mike Rob. He forgot the Real Mike Rob report hashtag, which is awesome because we get to mock him for that. Will he have, this is over 2,000. I thought he said over 200 because he's already over 200. He's at 244 since the start of this segment to now. Real Mike Rob, let's do a mini Real Mike Rob report. Answer that question right there.
I think he will get over 2,000 followers as soon as he follows me, you, Jeezy, Colleen, and D Hall on all of our social medias, all of them, even the ones we haven't created yet. Yes.
I got you.
You heard him.
I got you.
Yeah, you heard him, Star Stats. All right, get busy following all these folks in the boxes here as well as some other ones. We appreciate your knowledge as always. All right, it is the next man up for Miami. Tua is out. Can Jacoby Brissett keep the Dolphins above water in Vegas? Dolphins can survive out of the water just for like a couple of hours. But anyway, that's a different conversation. And quarterback questions for the Colts.